We are using the Moonchild Tarot Deck today for our collective readings. And let me know in the chat if you are new and you haven't attended. But general practice we have is I've picked the 2 cards while we were talking. And what I do is I give everybody an opportunity to practice with your intuition. So you can just kind of see, again, this is just showing the back. These happen to be pretty reflective cards, but do you feel anything, sense anything, any sort of indicator of being drawn to either the first card or the second card more? And as you see, I'm keeping it out of my line of vision because I only flip over the card and see it in real time as I'm signaled to during the readings themselves. This is number 1. Thank you, Danny. So if you want to toss in a 1 or a 2 or both in the chat, whatever is sticking out to you, you can also share how the information came through. Card number 2, it could be a visual, it could be a sound, it could be some sort of a sensation. Maybe you have chills. Whatever it is, we're just practicing awareness. So I'll show them one more time. So here's card number 1. And number 2. And feel free to keep putting those in the chat. If you're somebody who is interested in developing your intuition, I do classes on here once a month. And we have Q&A, and we also do a variety of different activities. I also have mentorships, so you can go to my website, and I have just kind of ad hoc. You book a 2-hour session with me, and then I also have like a actual mentorship, which is 4 months. So if you're interested in that kind of one-on-one work, these are obviously in a group setting. And we're not like seeing each other. We're just in the chat. So if you want more of the kind of personal touch, then consider checking that out and letting me know if you have any questions. So it looks like we had 2s across the board. There has to be somebody in here who related to card number 1. Some months ago, I had a reading and there was a knot that came in, and I had to search the internet to find a picture of it. And in post, I added it into the reading video. And I'm having a similar thing where it's a certain kind of a knot, but it's the one where like it looks like a sphere. I have no idea what this would be called. It's not meant to be pulled undone. So it's something about like the sturdiness and fortitude. Yeah, it's actually leaning a little bit more in the willpower. Like our will is strong, and when we have that sense of conviction, that it actually lends itself to support us in being more courageous and a little bit more bold. But it doesn't feel like we're taking bold action this week. We're just like feeling a little bit more, not emboldened, but we're feeling, again, not secure. What is the word? What is the word that's trying to come through? Anchored. That feels better. That feels better. Not another transition week. It's not really about a transition. It's about just sitting in this energy. We're not necessarily acting on anything. We're not moving from point A to point B. So what are we doing with it? Are we not doing it? Doing's not the point. We don't need to think about doing. We need to think about being. Hopefully I can get good. That's okay. So 9 of Wands. Anytime that we have a 9 card, 9 is like achievement type energy. So the end of the cycle, the full like celebration, like, yay, we got to the finish line. That's a 10. So 9 is like, we pretty much have everything we need. We're pretty close to being there. I do like, just kind of in talking sidebar, on what came through for the message just to start us off. I like the fact that she is grounded. She is seated, but she's also lit up. She is having that light within her that's growing. So wands cards are the fire element. Oftentimes when we're talking about wands, it could be like inspired action. And again, we're not taking action, and neither is she. She's seated. It's about like the energetic flow through her, the inspiration through her, the empowerment through her. But she can wield it sitting. And I was getting the nudge to read a passage. I don't know where exactly. We'll find it when we get there, but read a passage from the little guidebook that we have halfway down the second page. Okay. As time goes by and you become more accustomed to these shifting cycles within your own work and power, spot on, you may be aware of other people who will try and deplete your energy and confidence. Wow, okay, this is this is spot on. This is only natural and may come with the territory of being successful. Do not let go of the root of your inner strength. It too is rising and learning to evolve and transform. Okay, perfect, because we were talking about willpower. So this is like about your power, your inner energetic alignment. So thank you for the nudge here, because that does complement it, I think, really well and clarifies it, hopefully. A big lesson for us this week is to actually just sit in this energy and to not do anything. Like, and this doesn't mean like we get nothing done this week, but just allow ourselves to feel and experience this energy and not try to channel it into something and direct it towards getting something done for the sake of productivity, or so that, going back to the security thing, we could invest in something or time or money or effort so that we could be more secure later. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to be anchored within ourselves, connected to our own personal power. And just observing that, witnessing that. I'm seeing it's like we're in our own body, but it's as if we're seeing it for the first time. Like, oh wow, like this is what I'm made of. And that's the type of energy around it, like as if we're in a new skin or we're suddenly looking at ourselves in a different way, and just trying to tap into the embodiment of it this week. Okay, I just keep getting this really weird visual, but it's like I'm seeing somebody laying down and it's like a ball. Just stay with me here. It's like a ball goes in their mouth and then it just like goes through their whole system, and then it just like keeps keeps repeating. And I'm like, okay, this is bizarre, and it looks like it's like recycling, but it's not about recycling. It feels like part of it is about consumption. So this could be literal about like what is it you're eating, you are what you eat type of a vibe. There's like a regulation feeling happening with it too. So I don't know if it's about like we are applying or others are trying to regulate us, or combination of both, depending on who you are, of like what you're eating, what you're consuming. And consuming can be media, information, books, etc. A running interference type of dynamic going on. Part of the reason that the person is lying down, because there's something about this evaluation, this process, this just reality of what is happening, that's like taking some people out, like they're just, okay, I'm exhausted. Because of the fact that it's like they're lying down, but then the thing is just like cycling through them. In some ways, it feels like it's like forced consumption. Or if it's you on the individual level, it's like, I don't even want to be eating this. I don't even want to be watching this, but we're doing it anyway. So it's habit, or it's routine, or it's compulsive in some capacity, or it's kind of being forced algorithmically, or like propaganda, basically. It's a pocket of a couple days, and the placement of it, orientation within the week, severity of it depends on the person and what's specifically coming up, especially if you have a component that is driven externally, where it's like you are being fed something or being shown something, etc. Then it's not necessarily just going to happen today and then it kicks off today. It could, whatever the thing is that's going to land with you, that's again making you feel like taken out or like, ugh. If it's internal, then it's like some idea or something that you have. So it's like we're lying down, we're being force fed either by ourselves, externally, a combination of both. We're exhausted. We don't feel like this is healthy or good for us. And because of that, like, we still have this like pent up energy. Like, we have a release that we need to take either to finally break that cycle that's happening that we don't want to continue, or to speak up and say something about it, or to like physically get up and like get out of the situation. So we have this energy that is building up within us, kind of like getting us to our limits. And depending on how short your fuse is, that could happen for you this week, or it's on the horizon. Basically, it could happen next week instead. 3 of Cups. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. It's kind of a celebration card. It's like, see how they're like all connected to each other. So flipping this over, I do find this puzzling. So I obviously have to read more into this. Cups are very intuitive. They are about relationships. So when we have been sitting here talking about like our relationship with ourselves or relationship with other people, relationship with information, etc., creativity, intuition, etc. And when you have a 3 card, that is about the union, it's the coming together, it's the trinity of the 3. So we need to re-find our connection, because when we are in this flat out state and we're just, stuff is coming in and out and in and out, and it's like we have to burst that bubble. We have to get out of it so that we can reconnect, so that we can find joy, find things to be happy about, because it just feels like we're in this toxic cycle that's just weighing us down, and we need support from others to help us to stand up, help us to heal, because our body's tired, our body is exhausted, we're emotionally drained from everything. So this feels like this becomes the add-on of, once you kind of burst, if you will, once your fuse is fully lit up and you have that release, then this is what follows. If you're somebody who has a longer fuse and you don't have that release where you're either stopping the cycle, speaking up, or just like fully getting out of the situation, if that is not in your cards this week because it happens early next week, you might just need the reminder, or maybe this will help to encourage you to kind of move the train along faster rather than just allowing it to transpire and staying down and staying exhausted. Like, on the other side of that, like when you get out of the cycle, round and around and around and around and around, you have the connection, something to celebrate, something to be happy about, something that energetically, emotionally clears you on the other side. And that is hopefully a little bit of inspiration that you need to get things moving again. We had the unknown knot that looks like a sphere, whatever it's called. Maybe infinity knot, maybe something else. And that knot is anchoring us in our personal conviction, fortitude, personal power. That is the theme of the week for the first reading. It's making us feel more courageous. However, we're not harnessing that, nor are we encouraged to harness that, to take action, to move the needle, be productive. We're just trying to sit in that energy, try that on, see what it feels like. And a line that came through right before I drew the card was, doing is not the point, being is. And for our card, we had 9 of Wands. And she is seated, containing the cosmos, aligning with the energy, the light within her, the inspiration within her, the power that she has contained within her. And she is seated. She does not need to act. She does not need to do anything. It just radiates from her. So we're stepping into this new body that we have. We are looking at ourselves through a new lens of our courage, of our power, acknowledging it, embracing it. But we don't need to show off. We don't need to accomplish anything. We don't need to do. We're just going to witness it, experience it fully, see what it feels like, and then honor our power. All right, so reading number 2, we had the odd imagery of it was like the ball was like moving through the person and it kept cycling over and over again. And we're laying down and we're kind of stuck in this toxic cycle. You are what you eat. It's about consumption. So either literally what we are eating, what we're seeing, what we're reading, what we're hearing, what people are telling us. And we have this dynamic going on where some of the you are what you eat has to do with our choices that we're making as individuals. And some of it is thrust upon us by other people. So there is a regulation that is happening this week. So either we're choosing to regulate, shift, change something that we are consuming, and or something is being imposed by others, the external, whatever level we're talking about here. It could be an individual, it could be a group, it could be organization, corporations, government, etc., whatever tier. And so we are laying down with this, if you will, forced consumption. So this could be algorithms, propaganda. It could be habits, routine, expectations. Like, this is what I think I'm supposed to be reading or eating or doing or thinking about. So there's a lot of different levels, layers, avenues for this, depending on whatever the specific subject matter is, however the realization about this is coming through, and then the specific channels, either like self-imposed or external. So all of this consumption is based on outdated frameworks, standards, expectations, not relevant anymore, and that we know don't make us feel good, feels toxic, feels unhealthy for us. So we are increasingly aware of this notion. And what happens is there's a 2 to 3 day period at some point during this week. Maybe it starts today, maybe it starts in a few days, maybe it's right at the end of the week. Depending on you, depending upon whatever the catalyst is, that then you're kind of being asked to make the choice here to speak up, because you have this fire burning in your belly. You're just like, I am sick of this. I am so tired of this. I am so physically tired. I am so drained. And I just want this to end. I want to get out of this. So you have the options to speak up, to physically remove yourself. So like you get up, you're laying on the ground, you get up, walk away, or that you're taking some other action to be ending the cycle and like preventing it. The card that we had is the 3 of Cups, which is about celebration, connection, union. And this is the promise of what's on the other side. So when we have that watershed moment where we're kind of exploding, releasing, breaking the cycle, speaking up, saying something, leaving, that is the point where we can reconnect with people. Hands are reaching out. You're not alone. We're in this together. Oh, I'm running into the same issue. And we can reconnect to joy rather than just laying in the bed of toxicity. And if you are someone who is moving slower in this process, where you don't kind of have more of that, I've had enough of this moment until much later in the week, you could encourage that process to be expedited by focusing on the positive of like, okay, I can get out of this. Like, there are things within my power that I can end this, either because it's my own doing or it's external, but I can still do something about that. I can choose to get up and walk away. I can choose to not be engaging. I can choose to protest or write a letter or send an email or whatever the thing is. And this just is the reminder that like connection, joy, harmony can be on the other side. And we're losing a little perspective because we can't see this. We're like laying down and just like, um, again, totally drained, totally out of it, disconnected from being overly regimented, stimulated. Between the two of them, I mean, we have a bit of a what's our energy doing theme happening here, because for reading number one, we're reconnecting to our power, our sense of flow, our sense of inspiration, our fortitude, our courage. And we're really attuning to and checking in on that, observing it, tapping into it, but we don't need to do anything with it. And for the second reading, we kind of are being asked to do something by the end of the week, so that's how they're different. But the way that these are similar is that it's like it's the final straw. It's like we have energy building up within us that we have to release it. So this is where like similar but different, because we're witnessing the power that has built up over time. We're like, wow, this is great. This is awesome. We don't need to focus it anywhere. We just have to sit there. And here it's like the energy is building. It's like we are going to burst. We cannot take this anymore. And I need to take action. I need to do something about it so that I can feel joy, connection, peace, and harmony again and like break out of the cycle. Whereas the first reading is like we're entering the new, not even cycle, but new path, new portal, new way of being. So this was the being versus doing, and this was we've just been doing, but we've been doing in such a passive or harmful way, and now it's time to do something that will help to heal us, support us, make us feel connected and more joyful. Wands, fire, cups, water. Those two are in total opposition to each other. So water puts out fire, fire boils water, however you want to put it. They're not complementary. They are fully oppositional energies. So if you are someone who is working through your own personal power this week and you're connecting it, if inherently you then took action and released your energy, that means you're not doing the first reading. So these feel pretty separate. Because they just the nature of them is like we're trying to not do something. So then if we then do something, it means we didn't do this. And if we're doing a full energetic release and we're like, I'm breaking a cycle, this is like, no, we're just like, yeah, wow, I'm so powerful. Like, look at me. Like, I'm feeling myself. These are just so different from each other. So it feels, again, polarizing. So you're going to be in one, you're going to be in the other. There doesn't feel like there's overlap. You can't jump from one to the other. That's not what's happening here. So most likely you're hearing one of these readings and it particularly lands either because you're like, well, I would like that. I would like to get out of a toxic cycle and feel joy, peace, and connection. I would like to be lit up by my own personal power and not have to be compelled to be productive, etc. So you could be looking at either of these and think, I would like to do that. It doesn't mean that that's what you're going to be in this week, because they both have, from that standpoint, a positive spin, something that's really valuable that you get out of it. Energetic, introspective, identity-based shift, if you will, recalibration, and then action and emotion shift that's happening. So this is this is a choose your own adventure. You can only choose one, door number 2. And you may not be willingly, intentionally choosing one of these. It just may be how your week transpires. You think you're here, but then you end up being here, or vice versa. You hope you're here, but then this one ends up happening. Second reading was just like, it just pops up. This thing pops up. It's kind of heightened. It peaks at some point during the week, where this is just an energy that is just like, it's growing, it's intensifying, it's clarifying throughout the entire week. This isn't just one day you suddenly feel confident and then it's gone the next day. It's that you're like really thinking about things differently. You're experiencing yourself in a different way. And that's something that we want to have continue. It's not like, okay, this week ends, clock strikes 12 on Monday, and we dump out of this. No, like this feels like this is like the beginning. This is the visual. It's like we're easing into the hot tub. We're easing into the warmth, the fire sign. So we're easing into it, and then we can adjust to that, sitting in that, and then we can just take that with us. This is more momentary. This is more fleeting, but it's really important. Think about the long-term impact of breaking the cycle, of getting out of toxicity, of overconsumption or habitual consumption in whatever form. There were a lot of options here. So both of these do have a longer-term impact, but within the week itself, this one is longer, this one is shorter, but they're both profound in their own ways.